The umbrella has a rich and fascinating history dating back thousands of years. And no, it didn't start as a way to avoid bad hair days. Its story begins in ancient China, where it was not just a practical tool for shelter, but a powerful symbol of status and authority. Think of it as the ancient equivalent of a VIP pass. Imagine a time when the sun beat down mercilessly and rain poured in torrents. Sounds like a bad hair day, right? In this world, the umbrella emerged as a beacon of protection and prestige, and a great way to keep your royal robes dry. Crafted from luxurious materials like silk and bamboo, these early umbrellas were reserved for the elite. Because nothing says, "I'm important," like a fancy umbrella. Emperors and high-ranking officials used umbrellas to showcase their power and importance, and probably to keep their heads cool, literally and figuratively. The larger the umbrella, the higher the status of the individual it sheltered. So size did matter back then too. These early umbrellas were more than just practical objects. They were the ancient world's version of a status update. They were potent symbols in a society that placed great emphasis on hierarchy and social standing. Kind of like having the latest smartphone today. The umbrella's significance in ancient China went beyond the material world. It wasn't just about staying dry, it was deeply intertwined with spirituality and cosmology. Yes, umbrellas had a spiritual side too. The Chinese believed that the umbrella represented the heavens, providing a symbolic link between the earthly realm and the celestial sphere. Talk about a heavenly accessory. This association with the heavens further elevated the umbrella's status, making it a sacred object as well as a symbol of power. So it was like having a direct line to the gods. The invention of the umbrella in China marked the beginning of a long and fascinating journey for this everyday object. Who knew staying dry could be so historic? Little did those early innovators know that their creation would traverse continents and cultures, evolving both in form and function over the millennia. Talk about going global. From its humble beginnings as a marker of status in ancient China, the umbrella was poised to become a global icon, embraced for its practicality and its aesthetic appeal. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good umbrella? As the umbrella journeyed beyond China, it didn't just stop at keeping people dry. Oh no, it had bigger plans. It found its way into religious practices where it took on new layers of significance. Talk about a career change. In Buddhism, for example, the umbrella became a symbol of protection from the elements of suffering and desire, kind of like a spiritual SPF 50. Just as a physical umbrella shields us from rain and sun, the symbolic umbrella offered spiritual shelter. No need for a weather app here. The umbrella's association with protection extended to other religions as well. It was the ultimate multi-faith accessory. In Hinduism, the deity Vishnu is often depicted with an umbrella, representing his role as the preserver and protector of the universe. Think of it as his cosmic raincoat. The umbrella, in this context, signifies divine shelter and cosmic balance. It's like the universe's way of saying, "I've got you covered." Across different faiths, the umbrella served as a visual reminder of the protective powers of the divine. Who knew an umbrella could be so deep? The use of umbrellas in religious ceremonies further solidified their sacred status. They were the VIP passes of the spiritual world. Elaborate umbrellas, often adorned with intricate carvings and precious metals, became integral parts of processions and rituals. Blinged out umbrellas, anyone? These ceremonial umbrellas, far from being mere decorations, served as powerful symbols of faith and devotion. They were the holy grails of umbrellas. The umbrella's journey through the realm of religion highlights its remarkable ability to transcend cultural boundaries and acquire new meanings. It's the ultimate cultural chameleon. From a symbol of earthly power in China, it evolved into a representation of spiritual protection and divine authority. Talk about an umbrella with a resume. This adaptability and layered symbolism ensured the umbrella's enduring presence in human societies, paving the way for its eventual transformation into a fashionable accessory. From temple to runway, the umbrella's got it all. The umbrella's journey westward from its birthplace in China is a testament to its practicality and adaptability. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good umbrella? While it initially arrived in Europe as a curiosity from the exotic East, it wasn't long before Europeans recognized its value. After all, who wants to get their fancy wigs wet? The unpredictable weather of the continent, with its frequent showers and shifting sunlight, provided the perfect environment for the umbrella to take root. Because let's face it, nobody likes a soggy Renaissance fair. Early European accounts of umbrellas often described them as exotic novelties, kind of like the 16th century version of a fidget spinner. Travelers returning from the East brought back tales of these curious devices used for shade and shelter, and probably a few stories about trying to figure out how to open them. However, it wasn't long before the practical benefits of the umbrella outweighed its initial novelty. Because dry socks are always in fashion, as umbrellas became more common in Europe, their designs began to adapt to local tastes and needs. And let's be real, who doesn't want to accessorize their rain gear? The heavy materials used in Chinese umbrellas, such as silk and bamboo, gave way to lighter and more readily available alternatives like oil, linen, and wood. Because nobody wants to carry around a portable tree. These adaptations reflected the European climate and the evolving needs of its people, and their desire to stay dry without breaking a sweat. The umbrella's transition from an Eastern curiosity to a practical necessity in Europe highlights its universal appeal. Because rain doesn't care where you're from, it transcended cultural boundaries, proving its worth as a valuable tool for navigating the elements and for looking stylish while doing it. However, the umbrella's story in Europe was far from over. Oh no, the plot thickens. It was on the cusp of another transformation, this time from a purely practical object to a symbol of fashion and social standing. Because who doesn't want to make a statement while staying dry? Victorian England marked a turning point in the history of the umbrella, or as we like to call it, the era of fancy rain sticks. It was during this era that the umbrella, particularly in its parasol form, became an indispensable accessory for the fashionable elite. Because who doesn't want to carry a portable shade tree? No longer just a tool for protection from the elements, the umbrella evolved into a symbol of refinement, elegance, and social standing. And let's be honest, a great way to show off your embroidery skills. The parasol, a lightweight and often highly decorated umbrella designed primarily for shade, became ubiquitous among Victorian ladies. Think of it as the Victorian version of a designer handbag. These delicate creations, made from fine fabrics like lace and silk, were adorned with frills, ribbons, and intricate embroidery. Because nothing says "I'm fancy" like carrying a lace doily on a stick. Carrying a parasol became an art form, a way for women to express their personal style and grace, and to practice their wrist strength. The popularity of parasols in Victorian England was fueled by a complex interplay of social customs and cultural norms, and perhaps a bit of keeping up with the Joneses. For women, especially those of the upper classes, maintaining a pale complexion was considered a sign of beauty and refinement. Because who needs a tan when you can look like a porcelain doll? Parasols provided much-needed shade from the sun, helping women preserve their delicate skin tones and avoid the dreaded sun-kissed look. Beyond their practical use, parasols became powerful symbols of femininity and social status, and a great way to show off your taste in frills. The size, colour and decoration of a parasol conveyed subtle but significant messages about the woman carrying it. Like, I'm fancy, but not too fancy. A parasol was no longer just an accessory, it was a statement piece reflecting the wearer's taste, wealth and place in society, and perhaps their love for all things frilly and fabulous. Section 5, a symbol of status, the social implications of umbrellas, or as I like to call it, how to show off your fancy umbrella and impress your neighbours. The umbrella's journey from a practical tool to a fashion statement had profound social implications, and a few giggles along the way. In Victorian England, for example, the act of carrying an umbrella became laden with social codes and unspoken rules. Think of it as the Victorian version of Instagram. The type of umbrella one carried, the way it was held, and even the people one chose to shelter under it all spoke volumes about their social standing and aspirations. It was like a silent, very polite game of who's got the fanciest umbrella. The upper classes favoured umbrellas made from luxurious materials, often adorned with ornate handles made from ivory, silver or carved wood. Because nothing says, "I'm rich," like a silver-handled umbrella. These umbrellas served as visible markers of wealth and refinement, subtly reinforcing social hierarchies, and probably causing a bit of umbrella envy. Lower classes, on the other hand, typically used umbrellas made from more affordable materials, such as cotton or oiled cloth. Functional, but not exactly Instagram-worthy. The act of offering someone shelter under one's umbrella also became a gesture imbued with social significance, and a great way to impress a lady. Offering a lady one's umbrella was considered a sign of good manners and respect, and possibly a way to score a second date. However, the social dynamics of umbrella sharing were complex and often dictated by class and gender roles. It was like a Victorian soap opera, but with umbrellas. The social implications of umbrella use in Victorian England reveal how even seemingly mundane objects can become imbued with meaning and reflect the power dynamics of a society. Who knew umbrellas could be so dramatic? The umbrella, once a simple tool for protection from the elements, had evolved into a potent symbol of social status, etiquette and aspiration, and a surprising source of Victorian drama. Section 6, From Fashion to Function, the Evolution of Umbrella Design, or how we went from fancy parasols to the superhero capes of rainy days. While the umbrella's role as a fashion accessory reached its peak in Victorian England, where it was the must-have item for every dapper gentleman and lady, its practical function never truly faded. After all, nobody likes a soggy top hat. As the 20th century dawned, umbrella design began to prioritize functionality and durability, because nobody wants an umbrella that turns into a kite at the first sign of wind, reflecting the changing needs and priorities of a modernizing world. And let's be honest, nobody wants to wrestle with a rebellious umbrella on a busy street. The development of new materials, such as waterproof nylon and sturdy steel frames, made umbrellas tougher than a Victorian schoolmaster, allowed for the creation of umbrellas that were both lightweight and robust, perfect for those who like to travel light but stay dry. Gone were the days of delicate parasols that could be easily damaged by a strong gust of wind, or a particularly aggressive pigeon. The modern umbrella emerged, designed to withstand the rigors of everyday use and the occasional impromptu sword fight. Innovations in umbrella design extended beyond materials, because who doesn't love a good gadget? Telescopic frames allowed for greater portability, making it easier to carry your trusty rain shield everywhere, while automatic opening mechanisms added a touch of convenience. No more wrestling with stubborn umbrellas in the rain. These advancements reflected a growing emphasis on functionality and ease of use, because nobody wants to be the person struggling with an umbrella in a downpour. The evolution of umbrella design in the 20th century highlights the enduring practicality of this everyday object and its ability to save us from bad hair days. While its role as a fashion statement may have diminished, no longer the star of the Victorian catwalk, its importance as a reliable tool for weathering the elements remained as strong as ever. Because let's face it, nobody likes getting drenched. Section 7, The Modern Umbrella, a Ubiquitous Companion. Today, the umbrella stands as a ubiquitous companion, much like that one friend who always shows up uninvited but is surprisingly useful. From bustling city streets to remote countryside paths, umbrellas offer reliable shelter from the elements, proving their worth in countless situations, like a superhero in disguise. The modern umbrella has become an integral part of our daily lives, often taken for granted until the heavens open and the rain begins to fall. It's like the unsung hero of our daily routines. We keep them tucked away in bags, cars, and coat closets, ready to be deployed at a moment's notice like a secret agent on a mission. The widespread availability and affordability of umbrellas have made them accessible to all. You can find them everywhere, from high-end stores to that random street vendor who also sells sunglasses in the rain, no longer the exclusive preserve of the elite. Umbrellas are now used by people from all walks of life. It's the great equalizer. Everyone looks equally silly when the wind flips it inside out. They are as likely to be seen in the hands of students rushing to class as they are in the possession of business people navigating crowded city sidewalks. It's the ultimate multitasker, keeping you dry while you conquer the world. The modern umbrella, in its unassuming practicality, represents a triumph of function over form. It's like the plain bagel of accessories, simple but it gets the job done. It is a reminder that some objects transcend trends and fashions, their value rooted in their ability to meet our basic human needs. So next time you open your umbrella, give it a nod of appreciation. It's been through a lot to keep you dry. Section 8. Beyond the ordinary artistic and cultural representations of umbrellas, or as we like to call it, the umbrella's got talent. The umbrella's enduring presence in human history has earned it a special place in our collective imagination. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good umbrella twirl? Beyond its practical uses, the umbrella has served as a rich source of inspiration for artists, writers and musicians, appearing in various forms of art and cultural expressions. It's like the Swiss Army knife of the art world. In visual arts, umbrellas have been depicted in paintings, sculptures and photographs, often symbolizing protection, shelter or the ephemeral nature of life. Or just a really fancy way to stay dry. From impressionist renderings of Parisian streetscapes dotted with umbrellas to contemporary art installations featuring umbrellas as their central motif, the umbrella continues to captivate artists with its visual appeal and symbolic potential. Plus, they make great props for dramatic poses. In literature, umbrellas have featured in poems, novels and plays, often serving as metaphors for social status, romantic encounters, or the vagaries of fate. And sometimes just a handy tool for a surprise splash. The image of a solitary figure walking with an umbrella on a rain-soaked street has become a literary trope, evoking a sense of mystery, isolation, or contemplation. Or maybe just someone who forgot their raincoat. The umbrella's cultural significance extends beyond the realms of high art. It's also a star in the world of folklore and festivals. It has found its way into popular culture, appearing in films, television shows, and even video games. Because who wouldn't want an umbrella power-up? From the iconic image of Gene Kelly swinging from a lamppost in Singin' in the Rain to the whimsical use of umbrellas in animated films, the umbrella continues to enchant and entertain audiences of all ages. So next time it rains, grab an umbrella and put on a show. Section 9. Conclusion. A timeless icon of practicality and style. From its ancient origins in China, where it was probably the first must-have accessory, to its ubiquitous presence in the modern world, where it's the unsung hero of rainy days, the umbrella has journeyed through time, dodging raindrops and sunbeams alike, adapting to changing needs and cultural contexts. Like a chameleon with a handle, it has served as a symbol of power because nothing says, "I'm important," like a fancy umbrella, a mark of social standing, especially when you're trying to outdo your neighbor's umbrella, and a source of artistic inspiration, proving that even artists need a break from painting fruit bowls. The umbrella's enduring appeal lies in its unique ability to blend practicality with style, like a Swiss Army knife in a tuxedo. It is a tool that serves a basic human need, protection from the elements, while also making you look like you have your life together. Yet it has also been imbued with cultural significance and aesthetic value, because why not make staying dry an art form? The next time you reach for an umbrella on a rainy day, remember you're holding a piece of history, and take a moment to appreciate its long and fascinating history, even if it's just to avoid getting your hair wet. This seemingly simple object has weathered the storms of time, quite literally evolving from a symbol of power to a ubiquitous companion, like a loyal dog but less furry, a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to make even the simplest things complicated, and our enduring fascination with blending form and function, because who says you can't have it all? The umbrella, in its own quiet way, has been the unsung hero of many a rainy day, leaving an indelible mark on human civilization, one raindrop at a time.